Damn, man. John got a lot of randoms in here, cuz.
Yes, he does, bro.
Yo, Tim. They go tell Tim over here, Tim.
They gonna tell me, yo,
Somebody
TJ.
sleep on the
What's up,
couch.
Tim?
Hey, what's up, fellas? Hey, so why are we here? Like, can we even record
Wow,
here?
here, listen to this nigga.
Can we
Yeah.
record?
This is what we gonna do. We gonna pour a shot, and then 5 minutes after that, I'm gonna say, shots up, and we gonna take them. Then 2 minutes after that, we gonna take another.
Ooh, sounds fun.
Wait,
That's
wait,
what
wait,
I
wait,
like.
whoa. What about him?
Him, Fred, he just smiled and says,
Yeah.
yo.
Really though? Yo, that's out of pocket, bro.
That makes sense. I'm trying to get down. That makes sense. Okay. Yo, what's that noise? What is happening?
Noise, yo, watch how you talking about my children. That's not noise. It's a brand, image, systems, way of life. Brother from another.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely excited to be here. My other question though is, are y'all drunk every episode?
Every episode, bro.
Every single one of them. Look, listen, you get your Bombay, maybe some lemonade, or some Kraken, or some Jim Beam peach, and then it's on after that, man.
Okay, I can get down with that. Well, I guess the bigger question after all of that is, so we drink and do our job?
Yes, sir.
Listenership loves it. Shots up!
Brother from another, 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 brother from another.
Thanks for joining. So today we are
These.
celebrating women, and all of you guys. I appreciate you guys for coming. We all do. Hopefully today is really just a day full of uplifting and celebrating you guys. We are all dynamic women, and we are, we do so many different things, and we thought it would be a good idea to just, in honor of Women's History, go ahead and have an episode dedicated just to us. So feel free to chime in. We ask that you guys stay on mute unless, we need some feedback. You can type in the chat box to respond. If you fancy and you know how to raise your hand on Zoom, go ahead and do all that. But we want to hear from you guys. So hopefully it can be a lot of conversation back and forth. And we're going to just talk a little bit about some history, ask some questions and different things like that. So thanks for joining. And I'm going to start it off just giving like a little bit of origin of women's history. I want to read my little blurb here. So Women's History Month has its origins as a national celebration in 1981 when Congress passed the Pub L 9728, which authorized and requested that the president to proclaim the week beginning March 7th, 1982 as Women's History Week, which also, if you know, Black History Month also started off as a week. But we got to do better. Anyway, throughout the next 5 years, Congress continued to pass joint resolutions designating a week in March as Women's History Week. In 1987, after being petitioned by the National Women's History Project, Congress passed Publication L 109, which allowed for Women's History Month. Between 1988 and 1994, Congress passed additional resolutions requesting and authorizing the president to proclaim March as a full month for Women's History. Since then, that's when we had March as Women's History Month. I think we still have to do better honoring women, not just in March, but all year. And John is smiling because he agrees with me that women need to be honored more often than not. So thank y'all for coming. I'm gonna let the guys take it away, John. We're not going to hear. Go ahead, John. What do you have to say?
Oh,
I have
my
a
God.
question. Oh my Jesus!
Okay, what's your question?
The question. The question is what what should women get more credit for? Like, what do they deserve more credit for? That was my question. 'Cause
That's
you
something
said,
for the room.
yeah, well, or for y'all, whoever. I think it is. So, what do you believe women should get more credit for?
Well, I can start since I said it. I think women do a lot of the legwork for a lot of different things, and we don't often get recognized for it. If you think about just, women inventors and, think about mothers and wives and whatever form, women, we work hard. Not to say that you guys don't work hard, but we've done a lot that do not get the recognition for. We don't get recognized for it. So whereas men generally are talked about more when it comes in different professions, men still to this day make more money than women. So yes, we need a lot more credit for the work that we put in that is equal or even far beyond what some men are doing. So that's my spill. I could go on, but yeah, we definitely need more credit for the hard work that we put in every area, big or small. Would someone else like to answer that question?
I think it's a pinpointed area where women should be more recognized. I think it's like what you said, it's a lot of juggling as like, even if you're single, if you are a mother, like having children. I don't have kids, but I see people with children, single mothers. I was a product of a single parent home. Like people, like a woman juggling a job, multiple jobs, taking care of multiple people. You go to work and you don't get recognized for your, like, you don't get accolades, you don't get praise, you get looked over. It's a lot. It's not one thing that you could be like, oh yeah, you should get praise for this, or you should be recognized for this one thing. It's a lot that goes into it.
Thanks, Jess. I really think it boils down to like appreciation too, because it's not just, I'll speak for myself. Like, I don't just want somebody to say, oh, staff gets a raise today. I do want a raise. Teachers don't get paid that much. But, I want to also feel appreciated for what I am doing, so I think showing appreciation goes a long way.
I think it should be genuine though, because you can be like, good job, and you don't mean it. Have genuine appreciation for what a woman is doing or the part that they take in your life.
I agree. I feel like a lot of the stuff that we do as women is looked at like we're supposed to do it. Like, oh, we're juggling, being a full-time mother, we're juggling working, we're juggling a whole bunch of stuff. And that's just looked at like, oh, that's the role of a woman, the role of a mother. So definitely need some more appreciation.
It's real. It's real. Thank you, ladies, for that insight. John, did you have something? Did that answer your question?
It's just a question. I was trying to.
Okay.
Answer it, nigga.
Why I gotta be a nigga?
Damn.
Oh my gosh.
You're so hostile today. It's so wrong. Outside the bed today. I'm gonna let you know that off the bat. Y'all want to take a group shot together? This what you want to do? The men's or whatever's going on. Everybody got a shot.
Teacher, can I get off mute? Can I?
Yes, you may. Thank you, Fred, for asking.
He's off of mute already. Fred was that guy in kit class.
Yo, chill out, dog. You always trying to prove a point. Mind your business.
John, you taking this? Go ahead, Fred. My fault.
No, I was going to kind of piggyback on Daph as far as the women's history. I kind of dug a little bit deeper. I don't know if you mentioned that it started off as a week, but it actually started off as a day first in 1909. Yeah, it was 1 year anniversary of the garment workers strike when 15,000 women marched through lower Manhattan from 1909 to 1910. Immigrant women who worked in garment factories held a strike to protest their working conditions. So
Go
I
for it.
thought that was
Can you say that
what,
one more
what,
time?
what,
Say what you just said one more
what
time.
part?
Everything
Like
like
the whole thing?
they marched for a year.
No, 2 days.
From 1909 to 1910.
That's a long time to march. That's a lot. Y'all, nobody else is shocked by that fact. Okay, I'll be shocked by
Most of them
Really?
were teen girls who worked 12-hour days
and they still
in factories.
nobody else shocked about it. I'd be quiet.
I think we should be shocked, but the reality is
It's kind of like one of those. They became desensitized to the situation, so they're not really shocked that they were treated the way that they were treated. So I just thought that was interesting. And then obviously I got the same information where it went from a day to a week to an actual month. Another thing that I was able to pull up is like every year when March comes around, there's supposedly a theme to every month for women. I couldn't. Well, this one says the theme is women of vote, refusing to be silenced. That was 2021's theme. So I couldn't find like what was the previous theme. So I was trying to look, but I couldn't. That was a lot. I did do my Googles. It was just a lot of information, and I mean I had to like pay attention to other segments. I'm
we
sorry,
appreciate you,
spend
Fred. Thank you
the
for
time.
sharing that information.
You got mad? Oh, God. I did everything I possibly could do, nigga. What's your facts?
I did my part.
We appreciate that, Fred.
Right.
Get in the circle. Get in the circle.
Everybody in the circle. Yo, I'm trying to get me in the circle, dog.
Well, it looks like John is trying to take a shot. Again, I'm not drinking today.
You got that real Coke over there. That's what you sold us.
I do. It's a nice
Original Coke.
brown.
This is to the 19th Amendment. Shout out to Tim.
19th Amendment.
You shout out Tim and not shout out the women?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird because I didn't do anything that
Yeah, I was like,
I mean, thank you for the segue. No, I think it jumps to Fred point. So when we talk about the March 1909, 1910 for the garments movement, and then you think about how much women have done that pretty much for all of our big moments in history, how they have picked it up, put it in their back, and carried it forward. So again, the 19th Amendment again just kind of shows the revolution of how women really push both legislation forward. So things like the Voting Act, so being able to vote and get their voices heard. And we saw in this past election, a lot of women, especially women of color, Black women to be exact, did a lot for the movement. Like Stacey Abrams and others just did an amazing job in the movement. So just curious from you all, what about that in this past election, just voting in general? And then, of course, identifying as a woman. Why is that so important? And why do we need to keep making sure that this message is pushed across even beyond today? That's open for anybody.
Mr. Tim, can you please repeat what you just said?
Definitely.
Sure can. You said what, John?
I'm agreeing with Just. You said a lot, and then you just rattled that John off at the end.
Ran into a question. I got into it and was like, ooh.
You didn't give it time to breathe, but nothing.
So again, looking at the 19th Amendment and how that's been impactful when it comes to elections, like we saw in this most recent one, like Stacey Abrams, who really did a great job making sure folks are registered to vote. Why is that amendment so important? And then what do we need to do to keep making sure that that message is heard even beyond this year's election?
I asked the question, so now I'm gonna take it in. I ain't gonna answer right away. I'm gonna listen.
Any takers for this one?
He's so poetic.
I ain't gotta be shy. Y'all can say something.
Well, I'll go. I mean, it's important to be represented, you know, so with these elections and, you know, having a black woman vice president and all of that, like we're seeing that women are now being represented more. You know, we still have a long way to go, but you know, for young children, that's they can look up to that and say, wow, there's a woman in the White House. Like I can do that, or whatever the case may be. Like, so for me, the biggest thing is just representation and, you know, showing that we can do anything. I know it sounds cliche, but we really can. So that's my take on it.
I guess I would just say having a voice, because sometimes I feel like voting doesn't really. I always vote, but you still have a thought in the back of your mind, like, is this really going to change anything? Is it really going to help? But just having the option to do so, and knowing that you have a part in like creating change, possibly creating change, even if it doesn't go all the way your way, what you wanted it, where you wanted it to go, you've done your part, and that should be enough for you. And that's what it is for me. Like I'll be like, I'll vote later. And when I finally vote, I'm like, oh, I voted. You know, I feel good about what I just did. For me, it's just having a say so a part in doing and changing something.
Can I ask a question?
There you go. That's it.
All right, Chase, right?
All right.
We can't.
Go for it, John.
Good question, John.
I answer. Yeah, Chase always holds me to that. I appreciate that. Can I ask a couple of questions?
Go ahead, G.
Appreciate it. So do you think having a voice is enough, or actually are you speaking with the intent to change, or are you just speaking to voice just because you have the option of having an opinion?
No, it's the intent. For me, it's the intent to change. If I just thought I'm gonna vote just to be voting, I probably wouldn't vote. But it's because I know that it could possibly go the way that I wanted to go, to move forward, whatever we're in at this moment. Like voting Trump out was a big thing. So to have a part in that, knowing that I was able to participate, I would have felt bad if I didn't vote. And even if it would have went either way, I still would have felt bad for not doing that, exercising the right that I was given.
Okay, understood, accepted. What do you believe that women should have more voices in that they? What do you believe women should have more voices in?
I work in a lab. It's not STEM work, but I do diagnostic testing. So STEM is a place where women are beginning to get shine, but not necessarily on the forefront. You have you have women in high places, but it's not a lot of women being CEOs or directors. So I would say STEM, definitely, like anything with cell culturing, science, building pharmaceutical companies, anything in that area. I feel like women should be more appreciated and more valued, and have a bigger platform, because women are just as smart as men, if not smarter. So, and we also do a lot. Like, that's the area I feel like women could grow, for me personally. Did that answer your question?
Yes, that did. It's a running theme today that John don't get answers to questions.
I'm
Not you. It's not.
I know, but I mean, listen, I watched a few of the podcasts, and I know how you do. So
exactly. You know exactly how he do. That's what it is.
She also a person that just respond to stuff and don't answer things, but we're gonna leave that alone too.
Response is the answer. Thank you. Keep moving on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
John, I'd put you back in the hot seat.
Have any thoughts on that?
Oh.
Well, John, I'd put you back in the hot seat. But I remember maybe a couple podcasts ago, we talked about the election, and you were like, when do we get to a place where like there doesn't have to be a first? Like, it's just the person did it. And think about like the vice presidency, how it's the first woman, but also a Black woman. So like, why does all of that matter? And like, why can't we just get to a place where like they did it? Let's separate just the fact that this person did it versus it's all based around gender and race and all the other identifying markers. Just curious if you want to share that with the group if they haven't heard that part of the podcast.
Are you talking about? Well, I just feel like mostly majority for minorities. I feel like that whole, I guess, stigma of saying like, oh yeah, it's the first black person to do that has to go out the window. Because as Dev said, women do a lot, but I think how you say that? How you say
Tashira?
that? Tashira. She also spoke on is the stigma of women are supposed to be they're just doing what they're supposed to do. For me, I look at it like women are already like, and just even all three of y'all hitting on it. Just even said I think women are more intelligent than men. Like off the bat, like if we just take a damn blind IQ test, the women gonna score higher. I think men are stupid, and then women are just more intelligent. That's just a personal preference. So when you look at things
Wow,
like
that's the best thing I've ever heard you say, John. No,
Tough. The best
I'm
thing.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yo, that's out of
I'm just
pocket,
messing
bro.
with you, John.
John, go in the corner and go cry,
John,
bro. Go
get
cry.
you out of here,
I'm
bro.
about to
No,
cry
I'm just
for
messing
you.
with you. Go
Get
ahead.
you
No,
out of here, John.
I'm about to
Get
cry
you out
for
of
you.
here.
You have to take a shot after that.
I swear I'm just messing with you, John. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
She is getting John all the way
It was just
out the
nice to
paint.
hear. That's all. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
this
have
is stupid,
something
and
to
it's nice for
say.
you to hear that. Yes.
Can you
Go
guys
ahead.
hear me?
Oh,
Yes, I can.
who's that? Is that Tashira?
Yeah.
Yes, Tasha.
This isn't Tyshira. This is Amber.
Oh,
We're together.
Okay. Hi, Amber. Hey, Amber.
Hey, bestie.
all the views we can get.
It's good to see you again, girl.
Yes, you too. Even though I can't see you.
I'm sorry. We're walking up some stairs. Hold on. Give me
No,
a
it's
second.
it's fine. It's fine. Go ahead.
Woo, child. Oh, I had to regroup my train of thought. So I agree, and I would like to applaud. I forgot his name for saying what he just said.
John.
We don't need no
So
credit.
I feel like as women, we are
Y'all take
definitely
that to his
you know,
head, yo.
more intelligent, but I feel like we take the back seat on purpose because when we fulfill a man, he fulfills everyone. So like we're okay with taking the back seat and not leading because we need you to lead, because when you lead everyone. You just don't lead that one person.
I could see that.
Dang.
I could see that.
And I think that's why our voices aren't being really heard, because we're so used to taking the back seat and just allowing the man to be the face in the front. But they're not realizing that they're the face in the front because we allow them to be, so we can fulfill them, so they can fulfill everyone. So when men really appreciate that or understand that that's what we're doing and that's the role that we're playing, then they know that they realize how vital we are to everyone. And I don't think they're recognizing that. Well, some are. I don't think most people recognize that, which is why they overlook our voices of what is being said because of that. That's what I wanted to share.
No, I appreciate that. That's a thin perspective. I
can definitely
like that. So yeah, what do y'all think?
I can agree with that. I think that's a lot.
That's Amber, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna ask you initially, Amber, but then my question for the room is: do y'all do what stigmas do women have that like? What stigmas do women have? Because like when I look at like kind of like stigmas other than like outside of culture, I feel like women have that umbrella to just be whatever they want. Like when you think about naming your son, if you have a son, you think about naming them after the father. The son has that kind of like thought process. I need to live up to my dad and better. So what stigmas do women have?
I think we get overlooked because we're so strong. Like we as females, we empower everyone, like especially within our own community. Like women empowering women is such a big thing. Like the reason that we're strong isn't because of other, men uplifting us. Yeah, that has something to do with it, but it's more internally because of us. Like we support each other through the trials and we understand what we're going through more than you guys will understand what we're going through. And it's okay as long as we're getting the support that we need or some sort of fashion, but it's dwindling now. Like it's like the roles that we played aren't being appreciated. So you have those like, yeah, if I have a son, of course I want my son to live up to, hopefully, I pick a great mate and live up to his dad's expectation, have his name, take all of that. I understand the importance of that, but some men aren't understanding their importance in playing that role for us to do that. We're not just going to hand it to you if we have to be out here supporting ourselves.
So if you do pick a good mate, if you have a daughter, would you want your daughter to live up to your would you want your daughter to live up to your expectations, or would her father expectations oversee that? That's, if that makes sense.
I think we have to come to a mutual agreement of what our expectations are for our children. I don't think it's just solely what his expectations are and what mine are, because again, we're different. So a daughter is going to be, I'm going to be more of a helpful to my daughter than, a man in some aspects, but that's what we're missing. As a whole, you can't do it by yourself. It's 50% should be coming from me and 50% should be coming from him. There's things that I can't teach her that he can't, and vice versa. But if we're not bending together to, bring those expectations or bring up this child, then we're already feeling them.
I think Danica is. Am I saying that right, Danica?
Yeah, you're saying it right.
You seen baby kids before, dog. You know what Danica looks
Shut
like.
up, bro.
I had a question, because John, is your question the way that a man feels like, or a child feels like he has to grow up to basically fill in whatever void, or I guess like mirror his father? Are you saying what do women feel like they have to mirror? Is that the actual question?
Well, I don't think I want to use the word void.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say void.
What I was saying was like, so I know that like people when they hear that, oh, I'm a junior, and then I know also people when they name like, oh, what you gonna name your son? Like I have a line brother who purposely chose not to name his son after him because he did not want his son to think that he had to be him. So I'm saying, do women have that same stigma? Because I've never heard that. I never heard that from the others. Like I never heard a wife or a girl say, I'm going to name my daughter after me. And then like I never heard that. That's why I was asking, like, what stigmas do y'all have that we don't know about? Because it might just be a man thing.
That is a man thing.
Like,
Yeah, I definitely think it's a man thing, because it's the reason why I didn't name my son after me. But I was named after my pop. So
see. So that's why I was asking, like, what stigmas do women have that men just don't know, just don't know about?
I think for me personally, I am named from my dad. My dad's name is Derek. Mine is Danica. So he made sure to keep us all with the D's. But even then, it's like, I just aim to be that girl that, I guess to say, the woman that he always, I'm like, I try to be a strong woman, like the prior person was saying. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, but
Amber.
That's kind of like, I feel like I have to uphold. You built me to be strong. You built me to be prideful. You built me to be like, this independent ass woman, whether I wanted to be or not. So I do feel like I have to live up to that for him, out of respect of him and the work that he put in, because a lot of girls did not have their father, or a good amount of people didn't have their father in their life. So I feel like I owe him that.
So do you think that it'll be different? So because you have both parents, what you're saying, correct, in your life, you think your life be different if you only had one parent in it?
For me personally, I know for a fact it would be.
So you would, so you're saying you respect your father more because he's there?
Yeah.
Oh wow, damn, man ain't shit.
there. But it's one thing to be there, but you also gotta be active too.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, like
he was a
you,
for one.
You could be there, like, because there's fathers that are there, but they're just not active.
Yeah.
So you got to be both.
Yeah, and he for me personally, again, my dad was that. He was both. There are so many things that I actually go to my dad for advice about before I go to my mom. So that's why that would be my stigma for myself. That's it.
So what negative stigmas do you think that women, specifically black women, have to either break or change? Because I know for myself, I never had my dad, so we get to that stigma of black men just not there for their children. So like I don't know, like the woman's equal part of that. Like I got to break that for myself, but I know a lot of people that got to break that. But I'm saying for like a woman a woman's perspective, like, do you think like maybe like my mom, she did everything, but I know some mothers who just stay in the kitchen and who felt like that was just their duty. Do you think that that's a stigma going forward that has to be broken, or is working towards being broken? And that's for everybody. That's not just for, you know.
So, can I ask a clarification question?
Yeah, sure.
If y'all understood the question, y'all can answer. I'm sorry, that was rude.
Go ahead.
You can understand, but go ahead.
So, are you asking? Are you asking what stigmas do women have to break about men?
No, about women.
About women. Oh, so you're saying what stigmas do women have to break about women who come from a single parent home?
Not necessarily a single parent home, but just going for a period. Like she said, black women strong, they don't need support. Like that's a negative stigma that we could dispel right now. Like they need support. Like everyone.
Y'all think that's a negative?
Yeah, I was actually about to say.
Y'all think that's a
I feel like
negative stigma?
Yeah,
I think that we are built to be too independent.
Yeah,
But that's-
it could be on both sides though.
But that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
that's
I don't think it's negative. I think that, but independency and negative are two different things. Because at some point, help is still help. If we think that you don't need help, who asks for help? The person that needs help or the person that's giving the help?
That's the thing. If we're being too independent, I can need help, but I'm not going to ask for it. So that's what makes it negative, because I don't feel like I can be soft enough to say, "Hey, I'm struggling and I need this." We're built to be too strong, I feel, in some instances.
Could that also be related to being not necessarily independent, but maybe prideful, like just being too prideful to ask?
Yeah.
Just I know you had your hand up. I know you had your hand up. I don't know if you
Oh,
said
Janessa can go. Or Jeanette, she can go ahead and go.
I'm about to say it's an app like it's.
I'm trying to figure it out.
She's new to Zoom, okay?
She's a woman that's
how are you?
She a essential worker.
She ain't never missed a Zoom. She ain't never have a Zoom meeting before. She got to come to the office. Let them know.
What pandemic?
What's a pandemic? What's a pastrami to you?
What is a panorama for you? Because I have to
It's a panorama.
Oh my gosh. Yes, Janessa.
Hey everybody, so I'm Janessa Brown, just in case nobody doesn't know who I am. I wanted to comment on the comment about women not asking for help or being too independent. I think that it really falls back on how you were raised. And I can use me as an example. I was raised in a single parent household, but I had a grandfather and a grandmother who were amazing. So I was able to see it from both aspects. My parents are divorced. So my mama did struggle with 3 jobs, but then I was able to see a woman be submissive at the same time, as my grandmother was to my grandfather. And even when she was submissive to my grandfather, she still didn't ask for help. And I just think that that's embedded in us. The fact that as strong Black women, when you're raising, your sons and your daughters, you set that tone and you set that example. Yes, I can do this by myself. Yes, I'm going to struggle, but at the same time, I think that these generation of parents have to realize that it really depends on how you were raised and where you came from. I know that if I had a daughter right now, I'm going to teach her what I know. And that is how to survive independently, because that's the only thing I know. But I'm still going to leave that door open. If somebody wants to help you, you can let them do that. But then again, some women will raise, like, oh, well, he might take advantage of me if I let him help him, or it's always a tick for tat thing. I did this for you and I did that for you. That's another thing. We don't ask for help because some people expect something in return, or, it's one of those tick for tat things. So I think it just depends on how you were raised, and how you were raised is 9 times out of 10. Not all the time, but how you're going to raise your children, because that's the only thing you know. So if I only know that on Sundays, I'm only cooking fried chicken and cornbread and collard greens, that's the only thing I'm going to cook. And I just wanted to leave that comment on there. Thank you for letting me talk.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
I think definitely.
Put your hand down. Put your hand down.
I think how you were raised definitely plays a part. And like she said, you leave yourself. you gotta leave that door open to also learn a new way as well if someone wants to come in and help you out in that aspect. So I think most women juggle the independent and dependent roles very well. And then you have some that, everybody needs a little help, a little work on certain things. But that's where that communication happens when you go through that time frame.
So, Janessa, do you think that your way is the right way or is it the only way?
To answer that question, I think that my way mentally, and that's just based upon how I was raised, since I've seen both perspectives, I think that my way is not the only way. I think that my way is just a backup plan. And that's just me being single and still trying to find things out in life. I think that my way is just a backup way. But you have some women who stick to what they know and some women who are open.
Yeah.
I hope that answers your question with the best way that I can. That's the only way that I could.
Can we take a shot to, if you think that you didn't answer my question, you didn't answer my question, can everybody? That's like the fifth time I heard that today. Knowing that, that is kind of weird to me. But
I think that's the name of this episode today.
And you have, it's your facial expressions. You be like, so
yeah.
Right.
I said this.
My fault. I'm not going to jail. I don't think it's snitching. I thought I was just telling the truth.
You tattletale.
Yeah.
No, I think that
So nobody take
yes, you take the shot, you take a shot to wherever you want to take a shot to. I just think that sometimes it's hard to communicate with men sometimes because some women see things in colors and some men see things in black and white. So if I'm telling you that when I tell you that the sky is blue, you see what I'm saying? You might be thinking, oh, that shit white.
What? No. I don't. That you look. Chase was on your side. You heard Chase say.
I'm just saying with certain topics.
I get what it is. Yeah.
With certain topics, not all topics, but I'm just using that perspective. So that's why I was saying, like, I hope that I answered your question.
Oh, no.
Because I don't really know what particular answer you were looking for. So that's why I said that.
That's the problem.
I wasn't looking.
Most
answer. I was trying to figure.
That's what John do. Ask questions that he only wants one answer for. Don't give that answer, then you ain't answer his question. He only believes in black and white.
This is definitely John against the world right now.
I'm about to say clearly because this is a running theme.
I ain't said nothing negative about you this whole time till now, and that's because I had to make it known that I agree.
You ain't talk all podcast. You feel uncomfortable because your back hurt.
Anyway, that is why I feel uncomfortable. Your couch.
Kay has her hand up. Go ahead, Kay.
Well, we'll get to her in a minute. We were talking.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, this is not personal to you. Don't take it as like a shot.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
podcast rhetoric.
John said, is the way that we were taught, is that the right way or is that the only way? That was your question, right?
Yeah.
Can it be neither? Can it just be that that's all that I know? It doesn't make it right and it doesn't make it the only way, but it's just
that was gonna be my follow-up question, but Chase made me a bad guy on this fucking.
You gave her a question with the choices being double negatives, like that was just no.
I don't just because it's certain stuff that we were taught or certain ways that we were raised, it don't make it
right.
My next question was going to be before Chase.
Everything got to be a setup.
Yes, everything has an end goal.
Don't have her answer your setup question.
It's not a setup question. Maybe that's just her thought process.
You're really a detective.
My next question was.
I was just clarifying.
My next question was going to be: do you believe? Are you open to saying that you're wrong on how you address things?
You could have got there without that.
Of course.
I'm not married.
Of course.
I'm sorry.
I'm out the middleman.
I know. I need Pablo. I'm not going. I need Pablo.
Your plug's
no, that's
no, it's not. No, my plug's not stupid. He don't get caught. I need him because I'm not making that trip every day. I'm sorry, Chase. I apologize.
Can we get back on topic?
We're on topic.
I don't know what you talking about.
We're on topic. He's tripping today, and y'all said it was me.
Hey, you wanted to answer that question?
What's the question? Say it one more time. Am I okay to admitting that I was wrong about how I addressed?
That's what that was one of my follow. Are you okay with admitting what how you do things is wrong? Because if it's not, then that goes back to you saying that what you know, what's up with you? That goes back to you saying that. That goes back to you saying that. Oh yeah, I know what I know, and that's all I know. This is what I'm doing. But if that's all you know and that's what you're doing, how do you know you're wrong?
No, if somebody comes along and shows me that what I'm doing is, if somebody can show me that there's a better way to approach the situation, I'm all for it. But if you bring a solution to me that to me is not easier or doesn't make more sense than what I've been doing, then I'm gonna just stick to what I've been doing. But if
It don't make sense to you, that don't make it not wrong. But just because you don't understand the right way to do something doesn't make it irrelevant. That's what I'm saying.
I didn't say that it was irrelevant. I'm just saying that if you bring to me a different way of handling things that makes it harder for me, like makes it more stressful or more strenuous for me, then I'm gonna stick to what I've been doing. But if you bring me a solution that's easier and it makes more sense, and you're like, hey, Kay, you know you can actually just do this and it'll get X, Y, and Z accomplished. I'd be like, oh, okay, you're right, my bad, I was wrong.
Is that the temp in the room?
Más o menos.
I would agree with that. I mean,
is the solution better or is the process better? Because maybe I misunderstood what you said wrong, but for me, it sounded like you were saying that his solution is different from your solution, and the way he's telling you to go about it is harder than the way that you originally went about it. But in the end, he might be telling you to go about it differently because the solution is going to be different. So if his solution is better, even though it's harder to get there, if his solution is better, is he right or are you right?
The better solution, not necessarily the process. The process might be more difficult. It might take me to communicate a little bit more or count to 10 backwards before I just start saying what I need to say. But if the solution is better, then I'll go with whatever one has the better solution. Not necessarily better process, because if you go with the better process, it could give you a worse ending or outcome.
That's also based on the individual. Some people aren't where they haven't grown mentally, so they might not be able to accept the hard way to get to the better solution. So it depends on the individual. That's why I said más o menos. So yeah, more or less. But I agree.
Janessa, we saw Amber for a brief and to share for a brief moment. Y'all got comments? Staff Court? Nobody?
no, I agree with what Jess is saying. It's to be able to get to the point where you can accept somebody else's opinion or accept somebody else's suggestion of how you should go about something. You got to be at a place of growth where you can even see that your solution or your way is not the only way. I agree with what Sana was saying as of always about the process. If I know that taking advice from this person, to the point, even if they've experienced it, that the solution will change and it'll be a better solution. But yeah, sometimes I have to understand, all right, well, this process is harder. This process is not what I'm comfortable with. But 9 times out of 10, if I'm taking advice from this person, if I'm at a place where I can accept it, then I can understand that different processes will lead me to the solution that I need to be at. So, makes sense. That's fair.
So can I ask? Can I put 2 brothers?
Oh, you can't get off the podcast. I'm done. Nah, I'm playing.
I gonna do this when I do this. Only the married man.
I knew it. I knew it was coming.
Only the married man. Yep.
Don't be a hater.
Who's picking on me? No,
you started it.
I started it.
John Against the World. That's the name of this podcast.
So what do y'all think women? What do y'all think that you protect your wife from, or what do you wish you could do better for your wife?
That's 2 questions.
That is loaded, bro. That is super loaded.
Immediate thing came to my mind is I protect my wife from you.
from people like you. Nah. Yeah, that's super low.
That fucking hurts.
Every day it could be something different. But then I'm also the type of husband that also let her kind of experience it on her own as well. Like, what can I say? Like an example, she went to go get her own car, right? I was there for the entire process, but I was there kind of I was there to witness, but I wasn't there to really say anything because I knew that she can handle herself in that position when they were trying to throw her different negotiation tactics and all that. Like, I used to be a salesman, so I knew what was coming after the comments she made, but I let her experience it and let her answer it first. And then I also, if she came to me with answers or came to me with comments, I would give her my advice, but at the same time, I let her handle it her own self. So that's like one of the examples. Like, I could have like stepped in and been like, no, she don't want that. She want this, that, and this. Ain't that right, babe? No, that's not what you said. Oh, all right, let me step back. Let me listen and then come back and start speaking for her. But I let her experience the entire thing herself. And then when she got out of it, she was like, do you think I handled that right? I was like, you did you. If as long as you feel like you did you, then that's all that matters. Like, if you feel like you won that negotiation, that's all that matters. I'm with you regardless. That's just how I handle that. So like every day is something different, but it's kind of along the same. I take the same guidelines. Like, I let you experience that, but I'm right there with you regardless. If that answer your question, kind of.
What's up with y'all niggas today? All right. Number one. And number two, stop talking niggas in Houston like you still from Uptown, dog. What's up with you? Do you just running delicious? You said what? Oh no, my fault. You swear you?
I take Philly everywhere I go, bro. I can't do that.
Look at him. Look, fix your hat.
I can't. That's how I bought it. I bought it just like this.
Yo, Marcus, before Chase answer, you got something to say? You married, ain't you?
Yo,
because he
what drug dealers?
Nigga got Chick-fil-A on Sunday. What kind of life he living?
That's Sonic, bro.
It was a joke.
No. It was a terrible joke.
What was the question? That was a terrible joke. Don't try to throw in the bus as he talked. I heard
John against the world. Be quiet.
Oh yeah, gotta counsel him.
The question is, as a husband, what do you protect your wife from, and what do you think you should protect her from?
I protect her from the streets.
She's a bridge walker, nigga. That's a wild statement, Marcus. You want to elaborate on that, please? Because she's a great woman.
Hey yo.
Yeah, I don't know. Protect her from
That's a loaded
just
question.
like crazy people trying to take advantage of her. Cause she know I don't play that. I'll cut somebody out quick. But at the same time, I'll let her handle her business first. And then if I feel like she's getting disrespected or something, that's when I'm gonna step in. But for the most part, I'm gonna let her handle her, and then she'll give me a look or something that she needs me to step in. So, I mean, I don't know. Did I answer that about right? Yeah. So,
that's right. That's right. You gotta answer.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
That's what they supposed to do.
Yo, Chase, answer your question.
Teamwork.
Kudos to Marco. That was dope. I love it.
Yeah, that's right.
But outside of
what was the next part of your question?
Well, what do you, so I asked what else you need to protect from. Do you feel like you need to do more to protect her from that? Or you think that your day-to-day life is like you're good on that? Or do you feel like damn, I'm protecting her to this extent, but I can do this better?
No, I don't think so. I think we got to understand it. So I think it's like levels. Like, all right, you got like a little petty. You got like the petty stuff. Like, oh, you can handle that. But again, like if shit get real, I was like, look, we can handle this a couple ways. Like,
oh my God, Marcus,
somebody out.
You're out no more. You're fine to be happy.
I can pull out the strap it's like levels to it. So I can protect her more than one way. I can go stand up for it.
Fred and Mark, well, maybe it's loaded, but Fred and Mark is the same person in my head. They ready to fight a nigga, shoot a nigga, and play basketball.
No, it's real though. Like another part that
you just said until we get to the shits. Like, what are you talking about, Marcus? You did not hear what you said.
the other,
there's shit.
No, it's all right. I'm not married. All right, you're right.
The other part that I was gonna say is the reason why I let her experience it first. Number one, it goes back to like if I'm not here for whatever reason, I die, I choose to go other ways. We have that conversation. We mutually split partners.
Stop. We're not going to reference that. No, you always.
We're not putting that out there.
You're always making.
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. It's another. Like, can I say my explanation? I didn't interrupt you when you was going.
I just didn't like hearing that.
No, I was just saying. Like, she still has to experience that for herself to be able to hold her own in that position. Because if I step in and I start speaking for her, then how's she gonna speak for herself when I'm not there?
Yeah, it's gonna make her look weak.
But you don't have to be dead not to be there.
I'm about to say.
I'm just saying, like that's why I gave options. I said I could be dead. I can choose to go separate ways. Like, I gave options.
Marcus jumped in and said, "Yo, Fred making a point." Man. You saw how Marcus was doing.
It's real. That's real
yeah,
stuff.
That's true. Because she can grow up a different lifestyle than you did. Then when y'all met,
two niggas I know. Marco. This nigga get kicked out of the club for taking the shirt off because he ready to fight a nigga, and then you always want to fight a nigga on the basketball court. Y'all niggas are crazy.
I wait until after.
Yes, I wait until after.
Hey, I'm going to the trunk. I'll be right back.
I'm going to the trunk. I'll be back.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that guy. He talking about going to the trunk. I meet him outside the gate.
Look at Marcus. Look at Marcus. Look at Marcus. Look at Marcus. Go ahead, Chase. Your turn.
Oh, I can go now.
Yeah, you had no choice.
No, you can't go, dog. It's
all right. I can't go first.
No, you
go.
Lamar, you married?
Tough. He just cut you off too. Like, what's up, with boy?
You know that just went down.
For the podcast, y'all told me. You said slightly.
No, I said I am not married.
Oh, okay. Tim, you married?
I'm not, my guy. I'm not.
Tim Ray, you married?
Yo, you know his situation, dog. Don't.
Nah, I ain't married, bro.
Okay, so you the only person can go. That was my point. Y'all took too long to go.
Oh, you cut me off 5 times while I was talking.
Your joke was too long.
You cut me right off and said, Marcus, how about you? You married? So that's why I said, now I can go. So I ain't gonna get cut off no more by Jonathan Leftwich.
Yo, who was that?
You, nigga.
Oh, that man, Jonathan.
Who was that?
You, John Boy.
Hey, Chase. We want to hear from you, Chase. Let's hear.
You want to hear from him. Get off the podcast.
What's your answer, Chase?
You do not want me to answer.
Yeah.
No, but seriously though, outside of protecting her from like bugs and stuff, because she don't do I feel like a lot of the time, not a lot of the time, but I feel like I want to be there to protect her from her own thoughts and her own self. Like if she tends to overthink a conversation or overthink something, I want to be there so I could, let her know, like, yo, don't take it there, or maybe it's not like that, or stuff like that, because she can overthink sometimes, and she do the same thing for me. Like it's give and take. Like I do feel like out here in this world, my wife can handle herself perfectly fine. I'm pretty sure Marcus and Fred feel the same way. Like they just speaking on the what ifs. But I like to just be there for her and be that listening person. Like it ain't more so protecting her, but it's just being there. Like just being that person and not shunning her off. Because I could be here and be a terrible partner, but a terrible husband. So I want to make sure that I'm open and I'm communicating with her and we have an understanding.
My fault. I mean, I feel
No,
like
you're good.
I feel like I cut you short. My fault. But damn, and she logged off, and that's what my point was. For Janessa, when she's saying she only knows what she knows, like, are you open to that though? Because that has to be a 2-way street for y'all to understand that. Oh yeah, she tripping on this one, and for her to like, oh yeah, Chase sent me, I'm tripping. I'm
Yeah,
tripping.
yeah, that's what we do.
But
But
that's
I can admit
that was
that
my
it's
question.
harder for me. It's harder for me. Like when she she'll say it when she tells me I'm doing something wrong. Usually, a lot of times I might go, nah, I ain't, no, like no, I'm not,
Yeah.
or I don't care if I'm doing it wrong. I'm gonna do it anyway. And like she honestly like one of the only people in this world that can get me off that ledge. So it's like, it's definitely something to take in other people's thoughts and how they move and how they do things. But I think that's why we married, because I can accept that from her. Because I damn sure can't accept it for everybody. So
I think it does start off as a one-way street, and then there's room to build.
Like North Philly.
Yeah, there's just room to build. Like if she leaves that option for building, then it can be a two-way street. But if she doesn't, then it's a no construction zone. Like you can't do nothing here. I'm painting a picture, John. God dang.
I got you, Freddie.
I support that statement. I support
because
it.
John's in no construction zone.
Clearly,
because I'm already built, nigga. Ford tough.
No, you still under construction. Nobody's fully built.
Don't nobody Bob Forge no more, bro. Don't do that.
You not see what happened in Texas when they was having that snowstorm and people was living in their house about that.
Bro, it was Silverado. It was Silverados. It wasn't Fords.
You a lot. What?
Steph has her hand up. She wants.
Oh no!
We're gonna take a quick break after Steph.
Yeah, she beat me too. I'm about to say we're gonna do Steph. Can we do Steph question then break, or we gotta do Steph break then question? Post this.
We could do a question.
You can ask the question and we can think about it for when we come back.
That's a great answer.
Go ahead, Steph.
So mine necessarily wasn't a question, but I was after listening to Marcus and Fred, and then my statement was gonna be do you all see that I guess physical protection is the most important type of protection, because that was kind of what both of y'all named. But then Chase kind of came and was like, protecting Daph from her own thoughts. So because there is an aspect of understanding protection is not just physical. Because piggybacking off of what Fred said, it goes back to what we were saying earlier. It depends on how you're raised. Because I know I'm tough. I know I can take care of myself. Kind of piggyback into what we stated beforehand about the influences of your father, the influence of my father. He taught me to just be tough, be able to take care of myself at all times. But whereas understanding that how you're raised, influences that you have, protection is not only physical. So, but then when Chase stated protecting Dad from all thoughts, it was that. It was just kind of piggybacking off of all those things and just understand. Like I said, I'm not a married woman. So I was just trying to understand from the men who are married, just out of 2 or 3 answers, where y'all saying that physical protection is one of the most important aspects, or is it based off of who the person is, who your partner is?
I think it, for me, I think is based off who your partner is. But then, like you may be physically tough, but in a certain instance, you may know that you're not physically tougher than this other person. Like you may doubt yourself, where I can step in and be there and step in. But on the other side, like what Chase was saying, I agree with him too. Me and my wife, we have conversations all the time about like, do you, like, she'd be like, do you think I took that the wrong way, or did I go a little overboard? And I'm like, from me, this is how I probably would have handled it, but that don't mean that my way is better than yours. Like the way you handle it is like your feelings may have been involved, but your feelings are also valid too. So you kind of gotta, it's a juggling act with us guys as well. Like when it comes to that, because it's like we have to be sensitive to your feelings as well, but then also be that physical aspect as well. Like, all right, you're not going to take advantage. Like I'm here. Like I want you to know I'm here, but I'm also your conscious as well. Like you can use me however you need to use me, but just know that I'm here. I think Marcus trying to back up.
Marcus got a seatbelt strap on. He all right.
He's strapped in, dog.
But this the
I'm listening.
It's the protector. I don't care about this. I don't wear seatbelts anyway, but he got the strap.
You should wear a seatbelt.
All right, here you go.
All
All right,
people should
so
wear
I gotta. So my yo, what's up with you? All right, we're gonna take a break. I don't even have no question no more because he's crazy.
We'll take a good 5-minute break and come back and finish the dialogue.
We not logging out. Like y'all could stay.
Don't
I got a question again. Her hand still up.
She ain't put her head down.
Got something to say?
My bad.
Like punchlines to me.
All right, guys. All right, let's get back because Daph has that face of. This is supposed to be about women, and
let's get on.
Name a woman comedian, Daph.
Don't say Tiffany.
So we want to take a quick moment to shout out some folks in businesses. So women out here who are doing some amazing things, starting own businesses. One is I'm gonna butcher your first name. I'm so sorry. Shahara Johnson. I assume I'm saying that correctly. Has a company called Silence Kills, located out of DC. So love to check out their website. And there's some contact information. I'll make sure that Daph and myself drop it in the chat so you can connect with her. Then we also have K Nicole. Company is called K Nicole Artistry, located here in Durham, North Carolina, and other surrounding areas. So she's a makeup artist. Yeah. So if you
she's here today.
Oh, okay.
We
Jump in
need to
there.
hear from her.
No. Tim had it.
Okay. The pressure. Oh God. So she's here. Feel free to private message her in the chat if you want to hear her for her business. I assume it's makeup. So if you trying to be fly, whether it's date night, just because you a boss, whatever it is, she got you.
Yo, she about to hire you, Tim. Look at that. Like, yo, she about to get you.
Hey, just doing what they're paying me for, you know. And then they were here early when they had
we ain't paying you. Wait a minute. We ain't not paying you. Wait a minute.
Yeah, see, y'all gotta read the fine print. John told you to read the fine print. He told you to read the fine print. Y'all gotta read the fine print.
It's coming out his check too.
What check?
And then one of the person we shout out to, they were here earlier, Janessa Brown. She is the owner of Mrs. Brown Learning Services. So this is for education purposes, most like a tutoring service for children in the education system K through 12. Feel free to hit her up on her Facebook page as well. There is at Mrs. Brown's Learning Services. One of her quotes or her business motto is fail is not an option when it comes down to improving your child's academics. So love that. And shout out to her for paving the way for our younger generation to be our leaders when the time comes. So we got a few more we'll shout out here later in the podcast, but definitely make sure we got those in there as women who are doing some dope stuff. Also, if you are on this call and have a business and you want to shout that out, feel free to drop it in the chat. You can probably message to Daph and or myself, and we'll make sure that we get you some screen time. Yeah. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. Now, John, I know you had a question.
Thanks for that.
To the break. I don't know if you still want to ask your question or not.
It was just another question. Like, so as they were, I wanted to ask it before the break, but the Daph cut me off, so I couldn't ask it.
My bad.
See, it was just like a lot of play off of what we were already talking about. So when you, Lamar gone, but I was gonna ask, where'd Lamar go?
He had family.
He would have.
Oh, tell Lamar. I was gonna ask you and Tim and Lamar. I was gonna ask. So when you look at a woman, when you think about qualities, because we hearing these stigmas, do y'all think those are stigmas, or y'all think that's just how you supposed to treat a woman? If that makes sense.
Can you rephrase your question? Like, I'm trying to follow it, but I feel
like the stigma that they say that women are supposed to be strong, that they're supposed to be always in control, like they're supposed to be strong, they're supposed to take care of what they got to take care of. Do you think that's a trait that you look for a woman, and that's like something that you hold, like if you're not doing that, I hold that against you? Or do you think that that's just a quality that women have?
I think that quality is confidence, so I wouldn't necessarily look at it as like strength or like
you could be confident not take this nigga tell me how to do that. You could be confident not take care of your shit,
right? But so I'm gonna pull at you. So before you jumped in and inserted yourself as part of my answer. No, I think for women who pride themselves on being strong and independent, to me that shows confidence within themselves because they're confident in their ability to do what they need to do, right? I think that's a very attractive trait for women to have. Because to me, I want to be able to add to what they're already bringing to the table. I don't want to feel like with somebody is like a project, or I'm trying to make them into what I think is the best version of them. I just want to enhance what they feel is the best version of themselves. So I want to be an added component to whatever that is. That's one thing I look for. I also look to the fact that, I think at some point in time, even as men, right, especially how I was raised, where you're supposed to be the provider, the breadwinner. But for me, there might become a time where I can't fulfill all those roles, and I need a partner who's willing to do that with me, right? And having the ability to recognize in my weak moments there's somebody else who can be strong, right? And having that balance of, in these times they got me and I got them. I think that's important. I think one of the things you all touched on earlier that I wanted to kind of insert, but also recognize that I wasn't married, so I couldn't be part of that segment, was that in protection also is like another form of like intimacy. And protection isn't always like protecting from something. It's also adding value and security to what's already there. So things like cuddling on the couch or compliments of just how good the person looks, and that builds up. That also is a way of protection and security because they're not looking for it elsewhere. Like, I don't want to give you a reason to go and get something from somewhere else that I wasn't providing for you. Like, that's also like a way of protection. And so to me, it's another quality too, right? That it's a two-way street. Like, you're enhancing me and how I feel in all stages of life. So physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all those things, and vice versa. It kind of just adding value. So to stick with the theme of today, I hope that answers your question, John.
I like that theme. I like that theme.
Yo, that's you answered my question. I heard exactly.
Make sure you answer John's question.
A response is not an answer, but we'll talk about it on a later date. Maybe that'll be the next episode. Yo, what the fuck is Sonny doing?
You can say that, but when you look up response, you see the definition, bro. Like, I'm just saying.
Water. What's the problem?
Did you say how you drink water? Yeah, I hope so. Go ahead,
John, because I'm not gonna let you off the hook, man. Same question.
Tim got to answer first.
She ready.
He's also working, so I don't want to.
You're not a host, John. Answer the question.
Hey, repeat the question, John. Repeat the question.
I'm a host on my podcast.
Hey, Leash. Hey, Gazelle.
Yo, can you answer the question? Can you answer the question?
That's right. That's right.
Well, big energy. Big energy.
Hey, bro. He'll never answer no questions.
Right. Answer the question, John. Golly.
Because are you in the front seat or the back seat or both?
Both.
Who driving?
Somebody driving.
He driving the boat. What you mean? She driving the boat.
Oh, you lit.
All right, go back on mute.
Talk your shit, nigga. Well, talking shit. Unmute him. Let him talk.
No, let him be on mute.
Gab, unmute Gazelle,
this
please.
Is not a Gazelle show.
Please unmute Gazelle.
John, answer the question.
It's on Tim Ray.
I'm on mute. Who? Okay, go ahead, Tim.
I'm waiting on somebody to repeat the question.
The question is, did you? I want to hear. Like, this nigga don't want to log off. Oh my god, that shit literally perfect.
Go ahead, man.
The question is, so as you heard Fred, Marcus, and Chase talk about their wives and what they feel like they protect them with, and then we also heard Janessa's first point of view, saying that she only knows what she knows. When you date a woman, are you looking for are you saying that as a flaw? Or are you saying like how when you date, do you equate that into the situation?
What is the things that I have to protect her from a flaw? Like, what do you mean? Like,
yes.
What do you search for when you looking for a woman?
Yeah, well, that's not.
I really don't look for women. To be honest with you,
you don't know Tim Ray. Who you
doing? You don't look for women?
Yes.
No.
You don't know Tim Ray.
What you looking for?
He don't look for shit.
I look to live my life however God tells me to live it every day.
And that's the problem. Next question. All right, Dad, what's the next topic?
No, John, you gotta answer.
You gotta answer.
I knew he was going to
John
do
don't
that.
answer no question.
No, that ain't fair. No, that was not a complete question. I answered. That wasn't right. Tim Ray need to fix it. That ain't right.
At least you just responded. He ain't answered the question.
Listen. So,
oh my Jesus!
In response to what they were saying,
you said not an answer, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So, in response to what they were saying, as far as what with their wives, what they
Look
protect
up the
them from,
definition, bro.
I think the biggest thing is learning your partner, because there are things that I do in relationships that I've learned like don't work with all females. You know what I mean? Like females that I've dated.
Speak for yourself.
So, you say what?
For yourself.
He said him.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, so
I want him to double down on that. I want him down that hill. I want him to say.
I'm saying so. All right. For example, I'm more of a person. If there's an issue, I'm gonna handle it in private. You know what I mean? So like, if me and John have an issue, me and John is gonna talk or whatever. But I realized that some women like to be protected out loud. You know what I'm saying? They want to see their man defending them out loud. But that's not me. You know what I'm saying? So that's not something that I do. If somebody has an issue, like I'm gonna talk to them one-on-one. Like I don't have to tell everybody everything that I do. But I've come to learn that some women like to be loved out loud. Like they want to know, oh, my man went to bat for me. My man is defending me. When you could be doing that the whole time, but you're just doing it in the background. You don't have to let them know. But some people like to see that.
I'm agreeing, but I'm behind. So is what he's saying right now is what's been stated that needs to be said, or is this just his opinion? I'm sorry.
Nah, this is my opinion. I don't know what they're talking about.
No, it's not your opinion. It's your fact. That's how you live life. Stop calling it an opinion. Y'all gotta stop thinking people talking opinion.
So my question is, I mean, y'all should show a united front in front of others. I'm just saying.
You say what?
I'm with you. I think you should show a united front in front of others. What we do in private, like we can argue in private, but when we get in front of people, we need to be a united front.
I'm saying like, so if someone had a problem with you, and you say, Cazale, you need to handle that. If Cazale handles the way he handled it, it might not be the way you wanted to be handled. But you know what I'm saying? So like that's something that I had to learn. Like I had to handle things sometimes the way my partner wanted to be handled, not always the way that I would do.
And Tim, let me tell you, your response was so great. That was a great response. And you any other time you get a round of applause, but you talking to me. The question is, he muted himself and took his camera off.
Stop worrying about him. Keep going.
All right, so what I'm saying,
eating in the car. Thai food.
What I'm saying to you is, so if that's your case, the question was the type of woman you date. So you wouldn't date, what's his name again? Derek Jackson. You wouldn't date a woman like he would. Because
I don't speak on that clown. Like you get no response from me when it comes to that guy.
I'm not asking about that guy. I'm asking about the type of woman you would date. Because
what do you mean? I have very little knowledge when it comes to that situation.
No,
we don't know.
You don't know what type of woman
she really is. Just because of what she said over.
No, we do know. Time out. We know the type of woman she is.
We don't. You're not with her every day. Just because she said one or two things on a video, you don't know who she is. You don't know who she is.
What I'm saying is that we know that this is not the first time this has happened. She wants a public apology. Tim is saying that he would not give a girl a public because he wants to handle behind scenes. That's all I'm saying. I just made it.
No. I'm saying that's how I handle it. If that's somebody that I want to be with and I truly want to be with them, I would do what I have to do to be with that person. So if that's what she wanted, then and that's somebody I want to be with, then I would do that. So but if it wants somebody that I wanted and they say they want it, I'll be like, well, you ain't getting it. Sorry. It's for somebody else. I don't care.
You saying that when you date a partner, it depends on them, not you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a people pleaser.
Person.
People. I know exactly what I said.
Thank you, Tim,
he might have multiple.
I totally understand what you're saying.
I know exactly what I'm saying.
That is crazy.
Hey, Cazale, where you get your food from?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Mute Tim.
I don't know. South Carolina. Where we at?
Lawrence, South Carolina.
Lawrence, South Carolina. That's where we at. Lawrence,
South Carolina. Cocaine, right?
All right. I'm back on
and I'm muting y'all. Thanks. That was wonderful.
What's the next question in Dav, since you muting us?
Wait, say that again?
What's the next question? I know.
John, you ain't answer.
He never answered.
Never answers, bro. He's not going to answer. This is what he does.
He don't
he
answer
deflects. Master deflector.
He called me
He called you a
masturbator.
Oh,
I thought the
nice,
same
bro.
shit. Like, yo, you called me a masturbator? You out of pocket?
He called you the
I
foot.
said master deflector, bro.
Yo, you master shredder, nigga.
So we're gonna move along.
This nigga, I thought the same thing. Like, what you call
This next segment, we just wanted to give some more facts, you know, because it is Women's History, and I think each of us have like a fact or two. Some you may know about already, some you may not. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. What'd you say? Well, I'm going to start off with a fact. This is a fact that I shared with my little students, and it's about a woman inventor. Since we have created so many wonderful things, this is something that I just learned this year. So I wanted to share about Marie Van Brittan Brown. Has anyone ever heard of her? Marie Van Brittan Brown? Yeah, no, I didn't either. So thought it was interesting. Yes, John.
I'm sorry. I know I'm doing a lot. I've been drinking since yesterday. So I'm sorry. I do have a question for the room. So
Is it about what I'm talking about? If not, can it wait?
It can wait, Dab. Go ahead, Dab.
I think it can because, thank you, John. I'm going to ask for some patience. Just
my question for the room is: do y'all have do y'all have a female? Well, not see. I hate using that female.
Is he still asking?
You hate using females. What? That not sound good for women's one.
Why not? Why don't it sound good, Elise?
John, you gonna ask
a female
after I finish talking? Thanks so much.
No,
you're awesome.
I promise you.
You're awesome.
I was gonna ask y'all, what's your favorite? Who's your favorite female? Like, who people that inspired y'all? Outside of your mom, outside of your sister.
I'm so confused.
No, it might be who Dad better tell me about if you let her finish, John.
I mean, I'm so confused. Anybody else confused?
Yeah, go ahead, Dad.
Hello.
I'm gonna get my fact because I was talking, and then John, you can ask away. Okay, thank y'all for listening. So nobody heard of Marie Van Brittan Brown, so I'm going to tell a little bit of information about her. She did her thing. Anyway, Marie Van Brittan Brown and her husband Albert noticed increasing crime in their New York City apartment, coupled with the fact that police were slow to respond to calls in their part of the town. So they set out to make their home feel safer. In 1966, Brown and her husband filed a patent for the household closed circuit television security system. The system had a camera at the front door and looked through one of 4 peepholes at different heights. The image was broadcast to the user on a television set in another part of the house. It also had a 2-way microphone and allowed for communication with the visitor at the door, and a remote switch that could unlock the door to let people in. If the person seemed unsafe, users could push an alert button to signal a nearby security firm. Today, with similar systems, can be seen in homes and apartment complexes around the nation. So she was the first to start the home security system that most people have. Not the ring light, Cazelle, but security, the home security system that we all.
Mute yourself while our host talking, dog.
Excuse me? What'd you say, John? So that's my fact about my
John was trying to check me, Dad.
And go ahead, John, since you can't wait to ask your question.
John was trying to check me, saying I was interrupting you, Dad. That's what he was trying to say.
Oh, my bad.
See, she knows she wrong. She said my bad.
Go ahead.
Ain't got nothing to say no more.
I don't know if y'all want to share something.
I got something. I think this is how you say your name, Marie Curie. 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 was the first woman to receive 2 Nobel Prizes. She was a scientist who research on radioactivity led her to discover 2 new elements. She also researched the atom, and her findings have been integral in scientific advancements related to atomic bombs and medicine. She was the first woman to win the Nobel Prize, and then she was the first person and also the only woman to win 2 Nobel Prizes. 1 Nobel Prize in physics in 1903 and a Nobel Prize in chemistry in 1911. So she was the ish.com. Another one, which I mean I could understand, but I didn't know it was like that close. Women make up 46.8% of the labor force.
Oh wow.
Yes.
57% of women age 16 and older work outside of the home, according to U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. And then 49% of employed women in the United States said that their family's priority breadwinners. So
Is that
that's
surprising
pretty
to
high
y'all
up
or
there.
no? Is that surprising to y'all or no? I just want to know.
It's not surprising.
What was the question?
Is it surprising?
Is it surprising that we make up that much percentage of workforce and stuff?
Workforce or breadwinner?
I think.
Go ahead. At least
I would say it's surprising to me.
Okay.
But then not like, because I'm trying to think of like all spectrums, because then there's also like, obviously you can't monitor or like taxes, and they don't know about like street life and all that, like they not counting that. But like in today's world, I think that it makes more sense that women are more of the breadwinner in the family, because guys nowadays are, their thought process changed. They want to do the fast money thing, where women are more like, I'm more legal with my stuff. And if I choose to be with you, or if I choose to, entertain what you're doing, then you could do what you do, but I'm gonna be more legal. So I think they make more money that's mentioned legal, like legal. Yeah. You can write taxes on it, but we have some guys that's out there that, I mean, it may skew it if we level, like if we took all things into consideration. But I was surprised at the number, like 49% being.
But time out, I have a question with your fact. Like, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but again, I am behind. Shots up to what you just toasted to. But my question is, are you, so because it's not legal, does it make it okay to be counted in or not counted in? Because you're saying I'm surprised, but you also say the fact that you say that because men do illegal things that are not counted legally, it doesn't really match up. That's what I'm just asking.
What's up?
At least ask that question one more time.
I'm asking because he made a great fact about women being a certain percentage of workforce and their forth. But then he also said, but also he has in the background his fellow men that does things illegal, that is not counted legally. I'm saying, does that take away from us? Or are you still supporting us and saying that to the prize?
No, I don't think it takes away. I think it.
Can I talk? I'm gonna let you.
But it's Fred's fact though. I want to hear Fred first, and then you second. I'm just saying.
What I'm asking you, Leash, is to say it one more time. What's the question one more time?
I said it 3 times, so can you tell me what you thought you heard, just to make sure I'm saying it correctly?
You didn't say it 3 times. I want to actually repeat it once, so that.
Oh, sorry, 2 times. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So can you say it one more time, please? Let's make it third time.
One more time for third time to charm. I'm saying he gave a great fact about women and the certain percentage that we are in the workforce. But he also gave credit to the men that does things illegally that's not accredited to what pertains to household and different things. So what I'm saying is, besides, he gave credit, but then discredited because men do outside force that brings in income. So I'm saying, is it shocking because of factual wise, or is he just amazed because I'm just confused by his facts, and then he backed up with what men did illegally. That's all I'm asking.
So I don't want to make it. If I did make it seem like I was discrediting women,
No, you
I'm
did.
sorry.
I
I
just want to
just didn't.
clarify.
I didn't.
Ask the question
I
for
didn't do that.
clarification. She didn't say you did anything. Don't be defensive for it. Don't.
Yeah, don't be.
Don't be.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm just covering my tracks, bro.
Texas.
That's all I'm
Yeah,
doing.
you good.
I'm covering my tracks.
No, don't need to
but-
cover your tracks. You're in Texas. There's no tracks to cover. You relax.
Okay.
John, shut up, dang.
But the reason why I said that is because the numbers can be like, if we count in all things, then the numbers can be skewed a little different. That's on the statistics side. But I was shocked at the number because I thought that more males were out there on the workforce.
And I'm agreeing with you though, but I'm just saying, just as easy as you didn't mean to be defensive about how much women do in legally wise sports, is how easily women be swept up on the rug, because you say that, but then you add on what men do illegally to help me with my legal ways. That's all.
So I would say.
Okay.
So
no, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, I thank you for your statistics, and I'm happy for that.
But at the same time, I would think men would be more so. Women have more taxable income than men, because men are more likely to do other things in regards to certain income than women.
Yeah. So that's why. Like whether. Yeah.
Taxable income is legal.
But illegal and legally, what I'm saying, legal is the right way.
I understand that.
Yeah,
but
legal is the right way.
Do the illegal way.
But we're more likely to go get the fast and illegal.
Yeah,
Right. No.
Can I ask you a question, Lisa?
The same thing.
Yes, you can, John.
So my question is, who is your favorite who's your favorite woman inspirer?
You better get to your question. You want to get to this? Okay, it'll be my mother.
Your mother? Or not? Yeah. Who's the most inspiration? Like, well, maybe it will be. I'm sorry, I ain't want this.
It will be.
I don't want to disrespect the coleslaw. Hold on, so slow down, go fast.
Yeah, you better not do that. Yeah.
I don't want to say the coleslaw. What I'm asking you is saying, did you have a woman in your life that say, I want to be in this field because of her? And that's your mom?
And it's my mom. My mom was born without her femur bone. She has one full leg, and she's born without femur bone. She has a nub and a full leg. And she is an RN working on her doctorates right now. And because she plays softball, she rode dirt bikes, turning gears with her hands and her foot, climbing trees with her hands and her feet. So because what she did, my thing is, my mama, she can handle blood and things of that nature, which helps in the healthcare field. She's a great RN, but to me, I can't handle what she handles. But because of disadvantage, she was always taken counted out because she couldn't do things. Work 12-hour shifts. It's my mom. It's my mom. It's my mama. But my mama worked 12 hours. Say it again.
You was in the country. We couldn't hear you.
She's on the John.
Oh, I'm sorry. So my mother has a real leg and an artificial leg. She was born without her right femur bone. She works 12-hour shifts 3 to 4 days out of the week without no complaints.
Right.
I'm a little bit on the heavier side and work 8 and complain. She's filled with all kinds of diseases, and to me, she inspires me. So it's not because she's my mother; it's because of the challenges that she had that made me want to be where she is today.
Okay.
She overcame all of that with a disadvantage that most people think she can't do. A single mom.
Oh, you missed the first part of the episode. Damn. Well,
I'm sorry. Sometimes I'm late, so I can't.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, you fine because I didn't know your mom ain't coastal like that, and she ain't. Look.
With good coleslaw with 1.5 leg, and she booming it. She killing it with 2 legs. You think she had 2 legs, didn't she?
Hey,
it's okay. It's my mom. I can talk about it.
You made the joke
I
did. You made the joke I did.
Exactly. I can do that because it's my mom.
So the question,
she can make that joke.
Huh?
Go ahead.
So that was I had nothing else to say. I'm not gonna speak up to that. I had no other joke at that. My question to the room is: do y'all have women in your life that that made you pick a what woman in your life put the most impression on you? Is the question, I guess.
Everybody.
Everybody. Nate too.
Chase, you ain't spoken 20 minutes, so we gotta hear from you too.
Shout out to Nate in the video. We can
Chase, hold on. Chase, can we hear from you? You ain't spoken 30 minutes.
I ain't, you know what I'm saying?
I can see you, Nate, and let you know. We can see you too. Yeah, speak though.
Man, that nigga fingers little as shit.
His head little.
What are you talking about?
You can't see.
He ain't got no hat on.
Shit.
You're not gonna speak. You just gonna keep muting yourself.
Let him speak.
Hey, relax, bro. Just enjoy it.
Did y'all hear the question?
Nah, I didn't hear it.
The question is, what woman in your life influenced you the most?
Your mama. Yeah, I'll get moms. I still think about everything she taught me, like in every situation. Like, what would she do, or what advice can I hear her telling me, like right off the bat, like if I decide to make a decision. I may not think about it like right then, but I might think about it at some point in time, whether action or before.
So my question is like, what exactly did she do? Like, so you saying that your mom never told you no misinformation, or are you saying like she had a specific, like every time that you had a specific event in your life, she did that? Like,
no, I would say like, more so than anything, like at this point in time, like I just think about like when I make a decision or when I do an action, like I try to take in consideration what she might tell me or what bit of advice I might think she would lead me on. Just because I know my mother. I mean, it's just a simple fact that like, I've had conversations with her in the past about different things. So it's like, all right, this given moment, what do I think my mom might say? So that's why I say like she's probably the most like influential woman in my life, just because I think about her or I take heed to her advice even when she's not necessarily there. And then there's other women that are present, but I may not take their advice for that. Like I may ask, but I'd rather take my mom's, just because I know it's in the best interest, like overall for me. It's not just for like them, or I don't have to think about it.
So outside your mom, what other women influenced your life?
Well, I have actually. I would say, I got my friends, like, except Courtney and Tiana. I talk to them about everything. So it's like, they're my sisters I never had. So it's kind of like, I go to them for advice. Like, I ask them because it's no bias. Like, it's like, I know they're going to give me the raw truth. And it's going to be for my well-being. It's not going to be like, not on like, oh, Nate, because this is the best girl for you. It's like, no, like, Nate, honestly, this is what you need to do. Like, they give me advice like if I was their brother, if I was like somebody they really like in family, So I take their advice. So I say Courtney and Tiana.
Okay.
Friends outside of my mom. Yeah.
I did.
What about you? Who
Me? No, for me, my field is we talked about it earlier, and we didn't get to that part of the segment though. My field is heavily dominated by women. So one of my favorite teachers is Dr. McCoy. Tiana can attest to that. She's my account teacher. Like my field is heavily dominated by women, a majority Black women. So like when I hear this statement like, oh, I don't see the fact that women are being underpaid or that thing, is because I have never had a male supervisor in my life.
Never?
Never had a male supervisor.
That's wow.
I'm about to be 30 in June, and I've been working since 13. So for 17 years, I can legit say I never had a male supervisor.
Wow.
So when I hear that, but if I had to pick one, Dr. McCoy definitely was one. I think because she was from Jersey, that's why I made the most one, because she was telling me in class, nigga, you dumb. And I was like, oh, my professor didn't talk to me like this.
But you need to listen to her.
Yeah, I had to. She told me I was dumb in class. Nigga, you dumb, nigga. How the fuck did you make it this far? So, like, Dr. McCoy, I think about my contract job now. I don't think she want her name put on here, but my contract job is real good. She's doing real well for herself. I don't think we curse too much for her. She's a good. But yeah, I don't never have. And then at my full time job, I never had them my part time job. All of them were women. So for me, if I had to pick like this, I'm not. My mom is my mom. My mom don't never do nothing wrong. Even when she make me pay for shit that I wanted to pay for, she never do nothing wrong.
Me and my mom, we're really close to the point where I love my mom to death, but yeah, we're just so close.
My mom Instacart account is credit card. I be ordering it.
To Instacart credit.
Yeah, so I'm not. That's what I'm saying. Outside your mom, like think about like this women in general that support you, not support you, but influence your life. That's what I was asking.
That's a real question. That's real.
I
think like the world is kind of fucked up when it comes to like women, or like it's messed up.
Fuck your talk.
They were talking about actually, like I just saw an article. It was talking about how like the NCAA, the March Madness tournament for women was like a quarter of what it was for men. And it was like, that's when they really like started looking at it. But it's kind of crazy because they go to school and granted, it may not be as much people going to see them, but it's like, honestly, how much money is backed into that? So it's like, that's why people don't really go into it. Like people put a lot more money into men's sports more than they do in general, which is kind of like leading to the bias. I kind of feel like.
That's debatable. I don't think this podcast is not for that. That's debatable. But the best no look pass was from a woman ever in life.
Yeah, no, factual.
That was the best no look pass I've ever seen in my fucking life. And I throw no look passes, so that's she was better than me. Now
Yo, push him out the camera, bro. Push him out the camera, bro. Like he always gotta give himself a compliment before he gives somebody else one. Like get him out the camera, yo.
Fred, you don't got no knees, so he got to talk about his passing.
Did I lie? Oh yeah, I'm done though. My knees are done. Did I lie though, Fred?
What? You throw no look passes? I don't know what relevance it had, but yeah, you throw it.
Not about relevance. Did I lie about the statement?
It's a lot to do about relevance, but okay, yeah, you throw no look passes.
This is why he responds instead of answering the question. All right, anybody else next? I'm mute myself. Anybody else got a female, a woman that?
Yeah, I mean, my mom. But if we not talking about moms, I got a sister, I got my wife. Like all three of them, definitely show me different aspects. My sister being the first to graduate from my family from college, while being pregnant, and having a kid. It was something that stood out to me even at a young age, like having to deal with all of that on top of schoolwork. And then also, she graduated cum laude as well. So it was like she had a lot of things stacked against her. She's also in nursing. She's a charge nurse now, going to school to be I know I'm a butcher the name, but it's like a nurse assistant. So like high up there on the nurse, like she's almost an anesthesiologist, but it's like on the nurse side. You would stumble on the word too. But it's like seeing her from where she was, no kids, doing school to going to college, being pregnant, finishing out cum laude, and then still consistently climbing. She was like my first role model growing up. And then my wife also doing the things that she did, as far as her major being it's not an actual pharmacy major, but it's like pre-med with a minor of biology, like, and then overcoming all the things that I watched her overcome as well, being pregnant senior year and graduating, and then having to deal with not getting the chances at first to do the things that she would love to do, and still to this day, still not getting the chances, but she still pushes forward to keep going along that path, even though people that were not as qualified as her gets those chances. Like those are things that like come against her like all the time, where it's like why like she does ask those questions like, why don't I get that chance? But then she also gets back on that horse and be like, yo, yeah, I had a weak moment, but now I'm back on it. Like I'm going forth. And that, to me, that's that dedication, that determination to continue to win. That's something that I see on a daily, and it gives me the motivation to make me also want to get on that horse as well. Like I can't slack either. So those would be my three. I could go on about my mom, but that's kind of cliche. Like she's a crazy lady, but I love that lady. She does a lot.
Shout out to them.
Oh.
Okay.
It's an asshole. He muted me as I was talking. Steiner. Steph, Court, Carrie, Kay, Jessica, Tim. Well, tell me you last out of all these.
Well, Kiana just put something in the chat.
Oh,
I put something in the chat, but I'll talk now.
No, talk your talk. No, talk your talk.
But no, it was, excuse me, it was more than just my mom. Like for me, my mom had me when she was 18 years old. So she was still, me and my mom pretty much grew up together. She was still a child herself. So it was a lot of influence on other people in my life who influenced me, my grandmothers, my aunts, great aunts, and people like that really sacrificed a lot to help my mom raise me, for me to be who I am. And so to be able to graduate, first woman in my family with a college degree, and then having a master's, like, I know that who I am is because of them. So for me, it's not just one woman, like it's truly a lot of different people that influenced me to help me be who I am.
And for the record, if anybody else wants to speak about it, I don't want it to seem like, oh no, don't shout out your mom. Just for me personally, my mom is on the highest of my mom. It's God and my mom. So I don't like, so me trying to gauge a woman, I would never compare a woman to my mom. So that's what I'm saying. Like, don't include your mom. I'm saying don't include that because I don't know if else to the podcast, like earlier when we talk about like what things you love, don't include your family. Like, cause I wouldn't have they wouldn't be my friends if their family wasn't in their top two. So it's like,
but there's still people out here that don't value their families too.
But that's why they wouldn't be my friends if they didn't include their family in
top two. No, I understand that statement, but going to before that statement.
What statement?
Some people don't value their family at all. Like, so they wouldn't take it for granted. I don't take it for granted people that do mention their mother. Because it's people out here that got their mothers and still won't mention them.
Understandable. That's not what my view is, as Chase wants to argue with me.
I'm not arguing. I'm just letting you know another view, because your view don't necessarily mean this for everybody.
And that's why
what we was talking about earlier.
But that's my view. Was
you can't tell them not to say they fucking mother. Is what I'm saying.
That's what it boils down to.
That's all I'm saying. You saying what they?
Oh man, anybody else?
Your mom.
And that's all That's all he's saying. And I stated from this statement: don't feel uncomfortable not mentioning your mother because I.
That ain't what you said. That ain't what.
Kiana, that's not what I said. Am I lying? Am I tripping, Kiana? Let me know if I'm tripping. Kiana, if I'm tripping.
Tell him he fell.
I don't know. I'm lost.
Back on mute we go.
Anybody else got something want to share?
Tomorrow.
Just a quick one on that. I mentioned like well, my mom is my mom. Like she's more so like as I'm getting older, she's like my homegirl. Like she does have an impact on my life, but as we are growing, getting older together, she's like legit one of my best friends. So it's not like I'm saying like, oh well, to discredit anything she's doing, but as we're getting older and growing, still together, we still have our experiences. I would say the woman that has the biggest impact on my life is probably my grandma, my mom's mom. She passed a few years ago, and even if she wasn't necessarily my grandma, just the things that she accomplished are very influential. She was born in 1927. She's one of the main reasons why I chose to go to Central. She was one of the first in her class. She was one of the first Black speech pathologists to go to and graduate from Central. The county that she's from, she was the first Black principal. She was the first Black speech pathologist. Like, there's so many things that she accomplished and that she's done that even outside of her being just my grandma, my best friend to an extent, that I would still look at her and be like, yo, it's one thing to accomplish those things down. I know we talked about that earlier, like, why do we hone on the gender aspect or the race aspect? And it's one thing to speak about it in 2020, 2021, but we're talking about in like the 60s and the 70s, where that was, unless it was on a forefront, it is damn near impossible to get some type of recognition of just understanding, yo, there are still some firsts. Like, we're going back to what we're saying, even in 2021, we're still at a place in life where we're still making some firsts. That is why, that is something that does still need to be acknowledged. That we do need, we don't hone on it, but we still need to speak on it. Like, everybody needs their appreciation. You don't need to talk about it for so long, but appreciate the people that are making these firsts, that are making these accomplishments. But going back to what I was saying, like, regardless of who she was, just understanding that at a time such as where they were in life, these are things that are happening, these are accomplishments that are made. And then for me, I will say, shit, to tie my lineage to it, to say, I can go to this small town in North Carolina, but at any given point in time, they'll be like, oh, you're so-and-so's granddaughter. She was this, she was that, blah, blah, blah. That's a big deal. And not like a big deal to say, oh, did I take that and run with it? But just to acknowledge, like, yo, people are still making strides. People are still out here, like, literally, as people say, doing the damn thing. So I appreciate her for that. Also, she was tough. Like, she was just tough. You know, you had to be tough, but even growing up, she taught me, you take care of what you need. You take care of yourself.
Yeah.
All that other stuff, all the things that you enjoy, it'll come along if it needs to. And just kind of encompassing everything we talked about, you know, we get so caught up in following certain goals or hitting certain standpoints. If it's meant for us, we'll hit it. We'll make it. Especially as Black women, we get so caught up in the unrealistic expectations of what we should be doing, or the stigmas or so many different things. If it's meant for us, it's gonna happen. You know, everybody travels down a different path, but where you get to is meant for how you get there and how, you know, it's meant for you. So I went up on a little tangent, but my grandma definitely is, she is, outside of just being my grandma, she's probably the most influential person in my life, or has had the biggest impact. Just to more so teach me, take care of your own shit. Whatever happens from there, it's gonna happen.
You was good until you said dad, because she don't do nothing.
That's dope.
Yo, what?
What do you say?
Why are you coming for Daff today? Like, what's
that's amazing. He
Hey.
always, you know,
going on?
He does. Let's say it does.
You got an issue.
Anything else want to share before we move on?
No, nobody has nothing. Can I just shout out my two women in history?
If I can
Go for it, John.
Follow up what?
My two women in history.
Oh my God, here you go. You live with her. You don't have to keep trying to tell her.
I'm gonna take it off of personal.
I said follow. Talk your talk.
I said follow.
I said talk your talk.
I said follow.
Talk your talk.
There you go. One of y'all.
Go ahead, Chase.
God damn, dog, this nigga's retarded. I'm sorry. That's
We're getting canceled. Stop saying that word.
We get canceled because of you. My 2 minute history, I chose entrepreneurs. Madam C.J. Cutler. Madam C.J. Walker is the first Black
That's not what we talking about.
woman millionaire.
That's not what we talking about.
Huh?
That's not what we talking about. Slow down, go fast.
What we talking about there?
Women that influence your life.
I'm naming them.
Madam C.J. Walker.
I said I'm taking them out of personal. You, Mr. Don't Say Your Mom. Stop touching me. Damn, dog.
I'm sensitive.
I want to say Madam C.J. Walker because she's the first Black woman millionaire, and that's huge. 2, I want to say Rihanna, and third, I'm going to say 3 because I want to say Issa Rae because the moves they make, shout out to them. The move they make is just something that as an entrepreneur, I want to reach, not just as a black man, a black male, none of that. It's just those three. Well, not really Madam C.J. Walker, but the first to be that is huge for me. But Rihanna and Issa Rae is today's times who I'm looking for. Yo, put your glasses up.
I did, because you disrespectful, dog.
Why?
Because you don't like Rihanna like that.
I said my piece.
Tell them why Rihanna there.
Why?
Yeah.
Just her inclusion of everybody with the work she puts out. Like her Fenty is include. Like she even got Fenty Men. Like it's that type of shit is what I want to do. I don't want to just leave somebody out.
They comfortable draws. You should buy some. No,
they keep being sold out when I try, but that's neither here nor there. You said why? I said why.
She's the only woman to ever have her album on Billboard for 5 years consecutively.
Yeah, but Billboard don't impress me. I'm talking about the shits that she does. Like she didn't put that album out to be that.
Would it impress you? Would it impress you if I said she's the first black woman to have her album on Billboard?
No. You talking about Billboard? I don't think about Billboard. I'm thinking about the stuff she creates and her intention behind it. That's more so what I'm leaning toward.
Okay, I understood.
But you can go ahead and name your mom.
I name my people. My mom is the GOAT. I don't care what nobody says. She's a
now you're on a soapbox. Just do what you said you was about to do, and then made me go before you after I said I'd follow. Go ahead, chump.
Call me a chump.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Fred, you live with? I told you, one of my greatest accomplishments is not getting a fight with Adrian. Now it's not getting a fight with
John, we're listening.
We got everywhere about.
No. With you. Not with you. Not to you.
John, are you hearing or no?
Why are you echoing?
Everybody echoing.
I don't know why I said echo. Is it still an echo?
No,
it's not.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, John.
No.
You put on me? No, I can't. I don't know what was said.
You had something you was going to say before Chase, and then you made Chase go first, and now you ain't got nothing to say.
What I was saying was that if that's the case, and you women, what is your like fun woman fact for today? That was for us, not for them.
You said what? I ain't hear the whole thing. You kind of cut up.
Fun woman fact for today.
One woman fact. I thought
fact. Fred did his.
Fred shared his already.
Fun woman.
That's what I said.
But it still fit the same guidelines of what they said.
But if I
you told me I was off track, nigga, your brain is scrambled like it.
I can jump in there.
Yeah, go ahead, Tim.
So I looked at education. So I work in student affairs, work at colleges. So it was important to look at women who do some great stuff in the education field. Mary McLuhan, so she founded Bethune-Cookman University down in Florida back in 1932. She was also she did a lot of work around classroom politics. So who could be admitted as far as administrators, whether at the college level or through the K-12 level as well. And that's big for me being HBCU grad. So if everybody went to Central, I think it's just great that we still have those historic institutions to provide a space for learning, and to know that she founded one of them in a school that I had debated going to. I thought that was really neat to find out. And also Lucy Diggs Slow, so member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, was also the first to win a major tournament in the American Tennis Association, as well as an educator as well. Did some trailblazing accomplishments with that, and she was also the first African American woman to be named Dean of Women at Howard University. So those were two great facts about those women.
Dope. Awesome.
All right, John, bring us home. Don't mess it up. Just kidding.
So I can't listen in. That's wild.
He just said, "Bring us home." That's all.
No,
he ain't say you ain't listening to nothing.
The bring us home is not the problem. Don't mess us up. So can I talk about mine or no?
Absolutely, please.
Yeah, John.
You've been Googling them this whole time.
The
We've been on here.
I've been doing my
trying to find somebody obscure that
Don't mess this up, dog. Don't mess this
Madam
up.
CJ Cutler.
I don't.
John, why you trying to find them? I'm gonna shout out these other two folks we got about the business.
So my only two right now that I found is Carolina Herschel. She's the first woman to
gotta include white people.
She's the first woman to find a comment. And y'all know I be like, people know me. I like astronomy and all that shit. So
astrology.
I said it for you to be informed. Why you pick it? It's still on camera, but okay. Astrology. Does that change what his view is? No, it doesn't. And then Mary Anning. She's the first person Yo, what's up with you?
He got up and left. Yo, he got up and left, bro. Oh my god. Go ahead, dog. Go ahead, dog.
Fuck it, I got my time now. Shit, I talk about shit. Mary Ann, she's the first person to find a fossil, like a full fossil. So everybody knows that like fossils have been dated, but she was the actual first person to find a full body fossil.
Was it of a person, of an animal?
It was a dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
Oh, okay.
So like how they been like, oh yeah, dinosaurs been alive for this time. She's the only person saying.
Yeah, and what year, John? And what year did you loop in and say what year did she come up?
Jurassic Park came out.
you got
Oh, okay, thank you, Chase. Thank you for your
Chase
honesty.
back. All right, Chase, you back?
Why would you answer that? In that
He said Jurassic Park.
In that manner, what's all right?
I got Mary from Jurassic Park. Did you watch Jurassic Park?
We appreciate y'all for coming.
I shout out these last two businesses.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Tim. We got two more businesses to shout out.
John don't care.
So first one we want to shout out.
I was about to say before that we're gonna shout them out and then we're gonna post them as what. The fuck is this?
Somebody coming in, dog. Leave him alone.
You know what I'm saying?
It's my fault, Tim. Go ahead, do your thing. What I'm saying is that we're gonna shout them out.
What? How you tell him to do his thing and start talking? Leave him alone, dog.
And Tim, let's hear it. I want to know.
You talking to me?
Go ahead, Tim.
All right, so first business, next week we'll shout out is E. Marie. She heard on WJYN Uptown Radio, 98.5 Monday through Fridays, 6 to 7 p.m. She's the host of the Talk to Reeves show. So they discuss a range of topics related to parenting, youth, and education. You can listen live to this radio show at www.uptownradiophilly.org. I say it again for the folks in the back, www.uptownradiophilly.org. That's E. Marie. And I also want to shout out Emery Dunn, so Central alum, podcast called Free Game with Emery and Nicole, available on all platforms. You can also look it up on YouTube as well. They are a vlogger that's creating content based on YouTube, the many aspects of life, things they love to just talk about and do. And then they have vowed that self-care is important and that you must do it every weekend. So if you want to get some self-care tips on how to better yourself, Emery Nicole is the place to be. And those are businesses. If there's anybody on here that has a business and you want to shout out, I know Kay dropped another one in there, Pure Romance, caught that. So if you need those needs, okay. So feel like wow, let's talk about
Nah, Tim trying to get some jobs in this joint. Shout out.
If you need a radio job, or
internships are a very powerful word when we graduate.
What you need, you know. I don't mind doing that for you, but definitely want to thank everybody for coming to our podcast today. Hope you enjoy Brothers for Another. Definitely appreciate all of the things that women have done over time and currently.
Yes.
Hope that you all continue to.
You welcome, Tim.
Thank you. I hope y'all continue to listen to Brothers for Another. We are a ball of joy listen to it podcast wise. Usually there's more rants between John and Chase. They're happening on mute right now. So if you look on your screen, you can see they're happening in real time. But we do have a good time, I promise. And I hope y'all continue to subscribe. And also just know that we as a podcast truly do appreciate the work that we put out. We'll be nothing without Daph. So big shout out to Daph as our manager behind the scenes.
Thanks. I try. Y'all.
Sure, John.
Thank y'all for coming.
One of my heroes is Alicia Monique. One of my heroes is Alicia Monique. Let it be known. All right, go ahead, John.
Oh shit.
It was good seeing you guys.
I know. I really got a question.
Coming.
My question is, what do women like to drink?
I like tequila.
Hey.
Leash.
Hey.
Terramana.
Look at that Terramana right there. That's what I'm talking about. Terramana right there.
Is that a wine?
Terramana right there.
I can't.
Is that a wine? Can
Can I say something?
Hey, Terramana. Yo, Cazell, put that down before y'all get pulled over, dog.
We know Jess got the Patron, and we know Daph drink Coke.
That's right.
Can I say something as a fan, you guys?
What's going on, Leash?
As a fan, I'm really, really excited to meet Mr. Fred, like on live, FaceTime, Zoom time. Because I know all the brothers personally except Fred. So, Fred, it's an honor to meet you as a fan, okay? Just want to say that.
It's an honor to see you as well. Keep tuning in. I'll see you guys in person eventually. I don't know when, but
Look how you trying to avoid this dance, but I'm about to smoke his ass when I see his ass.
My gosh, John, you the only one pressed on this, bro.
Yeah, you disrespected me. You think you dance better than me. You know, you got me fucked up, dog. What you talking about? But y'all stay cool.
Until next time, everybody.
Y'all stay cool. Y'all stay cool. All right, shots up.
Water.
Take them.
How
you say?
Water.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna smoke Fred ass when I see you guys. I'm gonna
y'all right back.
Bye, y'all.
Yo,
Bye.
don't call me back.
John ain't got two left feet. He ain't got no feet.
I know I don't have two
John
left.
ain't got no feet. Like he dance on nubs. Like that's it. That's all he got. Like